If you happen to be just waiting around for someone to notice your efforts at work and offer you more money, it might be time you just asked.
But that's never easy. Here with 5 tips for working up the courage to ask your boss for a raise is author and negotiation expert Linda Swindling. Good morning and thanks for being here.
Well, thanks so much for having me.
Okay, first thing, where do we start with this?
You just have to start. You have to start and say, you know, it's time to get a raise, and go ahead and ask and be prepared to hear no. Because a lot of times you might hear no. This is the start of a conversation. It's not the conversation. You're starting the ball.
That has to be incredibly awkward. You're sitting before your boss. They say there's no money there. What do you say? What do you do at that point?
Well, if you assume I'm going to probably hear no, you say, well, boss, great. Thank you for saying that. You have to have a strategy moving forward. You know, so what do I need to do to upgrade my skills? Or what are you looking for with someone to get a raise?
And what exactly does the strategy entail?
Well, you can do all sorts of things, but one of the things is you've got to know your value. You have to know what you're bringing to the table. You have to know, you know, what you've done, but you also need to be looking towards the future. So what is it that you bring to the table? And how are you going to move it forward? And, you know, they've already paid you. Think about it. They've already paid you. And for, you know, whatever you've got, you agreed to. You've done that work. So now what value are you going to bring going forward that's going to, you know, do something with the organization and help them move it forward?
So if they still say, that sounds great, but there's still no money, can you say, okay, here's my plans. This is what I feel like the future could look like. Let me work toward that. Watch what I can do. And please consider it in the future. I mean, at least you're just saying, okay, thanks anyway.
Exactly. You want to do that. And then the big thing is you want to listen to what they're saying too, right? Because you want to make sure that you're moving towards their future. And you're adding, you want to think, you know, am I adding 3 to 5 times what they pay me and the benefits and everything else? What am I doing to help this organization move forward?
So it's better to think in terms of the organization rather than, I got all this going on, you know, and you really need to give me some money now.
Well, because they've given it to you. You already agreed. Yeah. I mean, your deal is gone, and you're in control of your career. You've got to remember, this is my career. I'm trying to get the raise or whatever. And you gotta ask. And sometimes it may be the first time they've ever heard this information. You're planting a seed. They think, you know, I hadn't seen you in a leadership role. Well, sure. I've got, you know, all these different things that people have said I've done. I've got this love me file of notes that I've given you. Yeah, so leave yourself open for, and go ahead and do it even if you're totally scared.
Sort of a bizarre question, but is there a day of the week that's better to have this conversation? Because on Mondays, we're all kind of in a funk. Fridays, it's like, woohoo, whatever you want. I mean, does that make a difference?
Yeah, it's so funny. We did a study of over 1,000 people, and they said, do not have your meetings on, you know, Monday or Friday. We're swamped.
Okay.
And we're busy.
So
you know what a good time is when you're working on that big next thing. You've just had a success. You just had a win. Maybe you see your boss is not under all this stress, then you need to approach and say, you know, I can do more of this.
So timing would be a good thing to think about.
Yeah, but don't be afraid.
Okay.
Ask.
Linda Swindling, such good information.
It really is.
Okay, where's our news director? Let's go have a... No, I'm just kidding. Good to see you here.